This is an absolute must watch. You're going to see White House Press Secretary Karine Jean Pierre storm out of the press room when she's confronted by Peter Doocy about why is it? Can you explain why you're able to give funding to Lebanon, almost $200 million without Congress, but you can't do the same thing for Americans suffering from Hurricane Helene?
Who are wrongfully detained and held hostage. And again, frankly, we have had an extraordinary record of doing just that. And that's going to be the president's top priority.
And on this issue of funding, the administration has money to send to Lebanon without Congress coming back. But Congress does have to come back to approve money to send to people in North Carolina. Do I have that right?
Here's what I'm going to be very clear about. The president and the vice president has had a robust whole of government response to this. Hundreds of millions of dollars. I said it at the top, more than $200 million that we have directly put towards survivors here for disaster help. And that's because of this president's commitment to make sure that we are there for communities that are impacted. We take this very seriously again. We take this very seriously. And before the hurricane hit, we pre-positioned more than 1,500 federal folks on the ground to help. And so we have made sure that every state has gotten their storm requested emergency.
Wait a minute, that wasn't the question. The question was, you're able to give money to Lebanon, over $200 million without Congress, but you're not able to give North Carolinians and millions of Americans suffering in the Southeast FEMA funding and extra FEMA funding without Congress. That was the question. And she goes into like a word salad, Kamala, nonsensical verbal gymnastics.
Emergency declaration. They requested it, and we made sure they received it. We've taken this very seriously. More than $200 million that we have provided to the impacted areas. But instead, people want to do disinformation, misinformation, which is dangerous. Because then when folks on the ground hear that, they may not want to ask for the help that they need. That is there for them. That's our focus here.
But President Biden is fond of saying, show me your budget and I will tell you what you value. If he's got money for people in Lebanon right now, without Congress having to come back, what does it say about his values? There's not enough money right now for people in North Carolina who need it. That's not misinformation.
Wait, no, that is, your whole premise of the question is misinformation, sir.
What premise? What are you talking about? It's a very simple question. You've given millions, hundreds of millions of our dollars to essentially support terrorists, but you won't give extra funding without Congress. It's a very simple premise. There's no misinformation about that. You just did it. And now when we want money to help us, Americans, hardworking taxpayers who've lost everything, you say you need Congress, who are on vacation right now.
You don't. Yes, it's misinformation.
Is there money to send
I just
mentioned right now?
I just mentioned to you that we provided more than $200 million to folks who are impacted in the area, and I just shared with you that people are deciding not to. People are deciding not to.
Clear to Congress that there's not enough money to help people in North Carolina.
We're talking about the SBA disaster loan.
That's money for people in North Carolina,
and that's important. And people in North Carolina need that. Wait, this is nothing new, Peter. This is nothing new. Congress comes together, they provide money, millions of dollars, for disaster relief. We're asking them to do the job that they have been doing for some time.
From a letter that President Biden sent to Johnson, McConnell, Schumer, and Jeffries. The president's letter is not misinformation. Would you agree?
No, the way you're asking me the question is misinformation. There is money that we are allocating to the impacted areas, and there's money there to help people who truly need it. There are survivors who need the funding, and it's there.
That you don't like misinformation.
I actually said we have the money available to help survivors of Hurricane Helene and also Hurricane Milton. Now there's going to be a shortfall, right? Because we don't know how bad Hurricane Milton is going to be. And so We're going to need additional funding. We're going to need additional funding.
That's exactly what I just asked about. And you said it was
No.
misinformation. Yes.
What you're asking me is why Congress needs to come back and do their job. That's what you're asking me. Congress needs to come back and do their job and provide extra assistance, extra funding to disaster relief fund. That's what Congress needs to do, and we're going to continue to urge that. You may not want that, but that's okay. That's what this president wants, and that's what the vice president wants. Thanks, everybody.
I'm going to show you a video side by side of Karine Jean Pierre just a few days ago saying this is misinformation. We never diverted funds to illegal criminal migrants. And then a video from 2022 where she admitted that FEMA funneled funds to help illegal criminal migrants. I'm going to show you that in just a second, but hold on. There's so much to unpack here. So you mean to tell me he asked a very simple question. She turned this into she starts acting like a tirading, petulant toddler. Why is it that every time liberals are faced with facts and truth, they act like this? They just start stomping their feet and acting all maniacal, raising their voice, and I don't like this, and you're just, no, what you're doing. They just rush to presumptions, rush to judgment, and then storm out like little crybabies. He asked a very simple question. Why is it that you can actually give hundreds of millions of dollars to Lebanon without Congress's approval, but you're telling the American people you cannot give extra funding to North Carolina and other victims of Hurricane Helene without Congress, who are on vacation right now? And she goes off and says, no, the premise of your question is misinformation. He asked a very simple question. Then he said at the end there, did you see that? He goes, you can't call a question you don't like misinformation. Karine Jean Pierre, your entire administration is an absolute farce. And you were faced with truth, cold, hard facts. You don't want the American public to know that you're sending hundreds of millions of dollars, which Blinken, by the way, just a couple of days ago confirmed that they're sending hundreds of millions of dollars over to Beirut and Lebanon without Congress's approval, without any need of approval. You just don't like the fact that the Americans are getting the feeling that this entire regime, this entire administration is America last, which for the past 4 years has reflected exactly that. And come November 5th, I hope to God we get our country back. Here's the video where you have two clips here. You have one from just a few days ago, Karine Jean Pierre, October 24, you can see at the bottom of your screen, versus September 22. Listen to this. Caught in a capital LIE as an LAD lioness dog again. Check this out.
It's just categorically false. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants. So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
You see that on woke leftist media? Of course not. Will you see this on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS? Of course not. They think that we're absolutely stupid, America. My fellow Americans in this nation, they think we're idiots. It's right there. We've got receipts. We've got records. It's the internet. It's the age of surveillance. Are you joking me right now? You think you're going to just get away with it? That is categorically false. That is misinformation. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous, right? You said it. There's records of it. I've talked about this in previous videos. You've given hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. You've given them free credit cards, free healthcare, free down payments on homes. You've rolled out the red carpet. The Border Patrol Union, the actual people, not Kamala with her fake photo op, the actual people who are at the border, who are working it every single day, have viscerally denounced Biden and Harris and supported and endorsed Donald Trump. They have said time and time again, this regime, I shared with you a video of the ex-Border Patrol chief saying that they want us to keep quiet about all these terrorists coming into the country. They want us to keep quiet of these millions and millions of migrant criminals at the cost of American lives. They don't want you to know that. They don't want me to know that. This has been a disaster administration from day one. And now, I've never thought I would say this. Now there's enough evidence, almost indisputably, to surmise that the election was compromised in 2020. I only pray that it's not compromised in November. Why are you guys so opposed to the truth? Why do you guys think Americans are dumber than rocks? Why do you keep trying to pull the wool over our eyes and tell us right to our face not to believe your eyes, your ears, your nose, not to believe your senses, not to believe your intuition, not believe what you see right before your eyes, and at the expense and cost of American lives like Laken Riley and hundreds of thousands more, and probably even hundreds and thousands more that are never even documented. Shame on you, Karine Jean Pierre. Shame on you, cackling Comrade Kamala, and shame on you, Vegetable in Chief Biden. I throw this off to you. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I can't wait to read your comments. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on her storming out, turning that question and answering it in the worst Kamala word salad, empty nest, empty brained way? And Doocy literally just asked a very simple question, and it was a hard truth. She didn't like it, she hated it, and she stormed out like a little child. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that. And then the second video, where we showed conclusively you did divert FEMA funds for migrants, illegal migrants. It's a fact. You did it. You talked about it. There's records. There's receipts. I can't wait to read your comments. Tap that thumbs up. Please, it's not for me. If you love the USA, tap the thumbs up so we can reach more people. This video needs to go viral because they're not going to show it in the fake mafia news media. They're not going to show it on CNN or anywhere like that. So please, if you love this country, tap that thumbs up. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Subscribe by clicking my face right there. It's free. And by all means, sign up for our free newsletter. It's your sure-proof way of never missing out. It's very simple in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.